Hi guys, Brian Meek with New Concepts. Today we're going to talk about the marquetry saws and the die saws and how to set them up when you first get them. When they first arrive in the mail, and this applies to both the compact marquetry saw and the die saw, and even the big Lee Marshall edition saw, it's just, that's not here because it's huge. They come with the saw off. So you've got to put the saw on. Not a big deal. The important thing, though, is you got to get the bearings adjusted, and that's a matter of sound. And this video is to get it set up so you can hear what good sounds like and what bad sounds like, because this is a case where a video is worth about 1,000 tech support phone calls. So come on in here for a second. This one's already set up, and this one is setting and running good. So we'll do that, and you'll hear what good sounds like. You know, it sounds smooth. You can kind of maybe hear the balls a little, but not much. It's just a smooth sliding noise. That's what you're looking for. So let me screw this up a little bit and show you what bad sounds like. All right, listen to this. Hear that? Where you can hear it grinding by? That's what you don't want to hear. Normally it's not that bad, but sometimes it's a little more like this. That's no good either. What you want, let me get this right here, is this. You got to kind of chase it a little, because what's going on, that's what you want right there. Hear how you don't hear the balls? That's what you want. These bearings, the bearings are right here and here, and the bearings have a certain amount of alignment play. This guy here is on there to keep the bearings from doing this. So they're stuck straight parallel in this axis, but they can still roll. So what you're going to have to do when you put the saw in is adjust them for rotation. And what you want to do to start with is you get them lined up. They leave here lined up, but the gods of UPS being fickle, God knows what they're going to look like when you get them. So you just adjust them a little bit, and if you see, right now it's bad because I moved it. But watch right here, and you'll see that bearing shift just a little. And now it's good. And if I keep going, now it's bad again. So what you want to do is get them lined up in the middle. Ooh, that's no good. Went too far. And there is some real feel to it. But hear the difference? And soon we will put the saw in, and we will have happy little bearings. So the way these guys go in is this little screw goes right through that cutout. So this guy goes in here. And you may need to loosen this a little. But this one goes through here. Tighten that down. That's snugged, it's not tight yet. Not until I get the other one in. And I'm making sure I'm rammed up against these back walls so that it tracks parallel to the guide. So crank that down. Crank this one down. Then crank this. And then this one. And with any luck, yes, today we were lucky. With any luck, it all comes out even. But if it doesn't, then you need to stick a screwdriver probably into here and just lever these guys a little bit to the side and see if you can get them to quiet down. What I normally do, if I can't figure out which one it is and which way it's going, is I will crank these all the way, both of them, all the way to the back, going this way, so I know they're wrong. And I know they're wrong this way. And then I'll come back a little and try and feel for getting them in right, if that makes any kind of sense. But this is the goal. And it should be about that simple. Once you've got it like that, you can then take this guy off of here. I would store it for later, but you don't have to run with it on there. You can, it adds a gram or so to the weight of the saw as you're bouncing around and cutting. So every stroke has an extra gram or so. But with the bungee, that's not a big deal, so it's up to you whether you want to take it off. Personally, I usually leave them, but that's just me. Anyway, that should be basically it as far as setting these things up. It's actually simpler than it looks. If you have any questions, you can always get a hold of us through the website, www.newconcepts.com. Thank you for watching.